Thank you very much, Mansi, and it's a pleasure to be with you. We thank you so much for the invitation, as well as Shaheen and everybody else. It's a real privilege to be part of this group and to share with you the work that we've been doing. Both Roy and I really hope that it's of some help as each of you think about the ways in which you want to engage in the work that we do in society. And so maybe if it's okay with you, I might start by just giving a little bit of a background into the story of High Resolves and how we created it. Roya will then take on Videos for Change and go a little bit into a deep dive to explain how we use video storytelling as a way of building capacity in young people. And then I'll talk to you a little bit about how it's growing in the world and what might be next, and how students in India might be able to participate more in it next year. We've already had a pilot. But we'll be able to talk a bit more about that. And there's room for Q&A. Now, just a note about Q&A is that it would be helpful if you want, as we're going through, to put whatever questions you have in mind into the chat. And what we'll be able to do is come back to that near the end. So then, in terms of High Resolves and Videos for Change, High Resolves is an organization that Roy and I founded 15 years ago in Australia. It's grown since. And the focus of it was around helping young people become more engaged citizens in their communities. And what we were trying to do is really get them to build up all the capacities they need to make the choices that their communities need to go in the right direction. What is the right direction? More just, more inclusive, those types of things. And we have systematically worked with about 400,000 young people in Australia. We are in some 500 schools, and as Mansi was saying at the beginning, we've expanded overseas since then. One of the important things about the way High Resolves works is the ability to draw on learning science. And learning science has explained to us that there needs to be a variety of learning experiences that allow mastery to be built by young people. And one of those important types of experiences is project-based learning. Videos for Change was something that Roya came up with about 5 years ago, and it's our premier activity for project-based learning in the organization. So what we might do is just turn over to Roya to give you a bit of a deep dive around how Video for Change works and what it is, and show you a couple of examples of how it's worked. Roya, over to you.
Thank you, Mehtad. I'm so happy to be here with you today as part of Inspired, and particularly this theme of dreaming together. Like all of you, we're passionate about enabling young people with the skills that they need to thrive in this rapidly changing and complex world that we all live in. And young people see the social and environmental problems all around them in the world, but even more so in their local communities. And they have the motivation and the passion to make a difference, but their young voices are not usually heard. But we need to have them at the table, and we need to help them for them to help us find solutions now, not when they become leaders in the future. So we created Videos for Change as a simple yet powerful way to empower young people to create and be heard. Next slide, probably, Netta. It's an opportunity for them to build critical 21st century skills, to amplify their voice, and to build the confidence that they can make a difference in their communities and in the world. And short, shareable videos, when they're combined with the power of storytelling, are the most powerful way and tool that young people have to communicate their perspective, their ideas, and to rally others to collective action. So how do we define a video for change? Well, we ask young people to create a 1-minute video on an issue that they care about, that creates empathy or awareness and inspires action. And then we help them to amplify that message through their own communities, our platform, through competitions, events, film festivals, and our media partners. As Mehtad said, it began about 5 or 6 years ago as a national competition in Australia, and it's now reached hundreds of thousands of young people, with some videos getting over 1 million views and being seen in over 90 countries across the world. And this year, despite COVID, Videos for Change has grown in other countries across the world too, and in many different contexts. So I'd like to share an example of a video that was created earlier this year as part of Videos for Change in Monterrey, Mexico. It was made by a group of students in grade 10, and it was facilitated by Enseña por Mexico, who are a Teach for All partner in that part of the world. And despite being under the difficult conditions at the beginning of the pandemic, the students collaborated and created this video remotely and on their phones. And it's on the topic of depression and mental health. So how does it work? So to take you through the journey, we, over the course of running Videos for Change for the last 6 years, there's been many things that we've learned. And one of the lessons is that for videos to have impact, there are certain steps that you just have to go through to create the best output. So we created a step-by-step journey to follow. And we've created a platform with high quality resources for students and teachers, and all available for free. They take students through the process from identifying an issue that they want to work on to how to use various techniques to craft their message so that the audience cares about it too. And there's all sorts of resources such as information sheets on social issues, handy tips and tricks, and videos to help them do this. And we realized that access to filmmaking equipment, technology, or resources is very variable across the world. So it's designed to be effective, even if all you have is a pen, a piece of paper, and a camera phone. And in fact, some of the most powerful videos have been entirely shot, edited, and shared via phones. And our partners in Brazil have even created a Videos for Change game that can be delivered via WhatsApp, which has been especially effective during the challenges of remote learning during the pandemic. The process of making a Videos for Change or Video for Change builds these extremely valuable skills. Students develop creativity by thinking about the unique ways that they want to present their messages and the ways that they want to use the resources that they have available to them. It's also an amazing way to build skills in collaboration. And one of the things that I love most about Videos for Change is that it allows students who may not be natural public speakers to have a voice too. Some people are great organizers, so they become the producers, and others are great at writing or acting or drawing, and others are super fast at editing or brilliant at social media. So it's a great opportunity to learn to work as a team and realize that there are things that we can achieve together better than if we try to do things by ourselves. We also help students to learn how to communicate effectively and to how to create simple, persuasive messages so that they can motivate others to act. And these are skills that are essential in any job that you might have. And then there's the emotional intelligence and empathy that's required to put yourself in someone else's shoes, either those of the audience that you're trying to communicate to or the characters in the story that you're telling. And lastly, when making a video, like any project, there will be roadblocks and challenges, and you'll need to overcome them. So that requires you to be adaptable and resilient. The last step of the Videos for Change journey is sharing your video with others. And in Australia, we've held large film festivals but schools or camps have also held their own events to show student videos. And this year we've had many virtual film festivals too. In Brazil, they were held via YouTube, like this event, and these opportunities to share and amplify their voices to a much larger audience is such an important part of the journey. And many parents, teachers, and students have had tears as they've described the impact that these events have had on them. I'd like to end with an example of Videos for Change that was run in India earlier this year as part of a leadership camp that was held virtually. Students were asked what were they most looking forward to, and they talked about the opportunity to learn new skills and to learn how to spread a message to the world. Two of the girls in the group decided to make a video on the subject of sexual harassment and violence, and they focused their message specifically on the act of victim blaming. It's a very timely and important subject, and especially given the recent events in the news. They made their video over the course of a few days, and I'd like to share that video with you now. Now, please be aware that although there are no explicit images, it is quite raw and confronting. And if it's a topic that is triggering for you, you may wish to look away for the next minute.
You took away my worth, my confidence, my own voice, until today.
So you're saying that I can't wear what I want? In my opinion,
It's okay. I'll just wear this sweatshirt with these jeans.
Alia, why don't you wear a dress today?
No, I'm not going through that again. I wore a dress once and it didn't end well, and
you should be told what to wear. You think someone who wants to rape would look at what I'm wearing before raping me? No, that's not how it
ended. It was so bad. No one believed me. I would much rather wear proper clothes and end up in court again.
Rape still happens. Whatever you wear, don't blame the victim.
Blame the rapist.
I've seen that video many times, and every time it has a profound effect on me. We'll be adding both of the videos that you've just seen to our global site in the next 2 weeks, and I encourage you to check out some of the other powerful videos there too. So, what are the keys to creating impact? I think the reason these videos are so powerful is because of this raw authenticity. But some of the other keys to success and impact when running this experience is that the projects are driven by the students themselves, which gives them a sense of agency and confidence. 1 minute is also key. Many people have tried other lengths, but for some reason, this seems to be the magic number. It's enough time to tell a story or craft a message, but it also focuses you to be ruthless and trims out anything that's unnecessary, which makes it usually much more powerful and much more shareable. This learning experience is also extremely flexible, and it can be run in so many different contexts, whether it's in school, remotely, in camps, or independently, where students can enter either national or global competitions by themselves or with a group of friends. And it can be run in different subject areas and has been run in diverse cultural contexts across the world. Lastly, when these videos are shared, either through social media or through virtual or in-person events, they have the power to encourage young creators, connect us as humans, and start conversations that I truly believe can create a ripple effect and change the world. I'm now going to turn it over to Mehtad, who will tell you about Videos for Change and how it's growing across the world.
Thank you, Roya, for laying out what Videos for Change is in such a vivid way and bringing it to life for everyone who's joined us today. I think you can all see that it's a powerful platform. It's also a very powerful learning experience, as Roya was detailing. One of the things that's been wonderful to observe from the point of view of High Resolves is the fact that we have started seeing interest in videos for change all around the world. So having started in Australia, you can see we have established a footing in the US and Canada. We have interest in Central America. Brazil has a very large program, as Roy mentioned. We have partnered with Enseña por Mexico, or the Teach for All network partner in Mexico. That's been fantastic. You can see activities going on with Teach for Armenia. In Israel, we've partnered with Pico Kids, and there's other examples in the world. What is encouraging for us is the fact that the experience seems to be universal. The desire for young people to express their voice and participate in these conversations with society is a universal phenomenon. And one of the things that allows the program to work is particularly when our partners join with media companies. So the fact that, for example, Telemundo is able to take the best videos that kids produced in Mexico and put them on air on 3 of their stations for a couple of months gives young people a chance to recognize that they can put a message out that affects a lot of people in society. So on that basis, we think that this is an opportunity that is very important for us to engage on and to grow the platform. And there are a lot of different ways it's growing. High Resolves continues to grow it in our territories. We have partners that we're working with. We have built a website that is going to be able to be used by lots of different people. So schools, states, organizations can do their own videos for change sites and engage people. And we've even had ways of engaging people in camps and schools that want us to deliver. We have remote ways of delivering the videos for change learning experience to students. So lots going on. But the most exciting news for us is a global competition, which we're hoping to announce in 2021. And we would love it if a lot of youth, a lot of the youth that you're working with in India submit into the global competition and participate with fellow youth around the world in this new form that's amplifying their voice. So maybe at that point, we might draw the initial comments to a close and engage in some Q&A with you and be able to exchange ideas. So let me stop there and see if any questions have popped up. And Roy, while we're waiting for some of the questions to pop up, let me ask you a question to get things going. You know, you had this idea about 5 years ago and you created Videos for Change. What was the first video that you saw that or that made you think this is going to be something that might work?
Well, it all started with, we used to create all sorts of opportunities for young people to create social change in their communities. And we found increasingly that video was the way that they wanted to engage a wider audience. And there was one particular video that was created that was called I Am Me, which was really talking about identity. And I think it's one of those universal things that really connects with everybody. And it was this beautiful video that just talked about the labels that have been put on people, whether not very nice labels, and how that can be something that you carry around with you. And so the way that these young people had put in the video, they talked about how they wanted to be defined by other labels. And I think that was just an idea, and then it grew from there. I can see a few questions popping up now. So
yeah, so there are a few questions about the global competition and also school implementation. So let's start with the global competition. You know, the plan that we have at this point is to launch something hopefully around the timing of April, and it would run through the northern summer months and wrap up in the 3rd week of September, something around that timeline. We would try to have partners that bring the news to as many people as possible. Hopefully the Teach for All network would be one of the groups that will let kids know about it, and students and teachers both. And there'll be various categories and things like that. The theme has not been set yet at this point, but I think maybe we can commit to letting InspireEd go out to everyone who has been part of the conference and let them know about the competitions once the details are available. Did you want to add anything to that, Roya, before we turn to schools?
Sure. I can see other comments here as well about the age restrictions. Typically, the age group that we've worked with Videos for Change have been sort of middle and high school students. We found that that it is possible to run it with younger students, but they just probably need a little bit more guidance, and their topics, you know, maybe it just may be a simplified process. So typically from, you know, around age 12 to 13 to 17 is probably the way that it's usually pitched, but it has been run with younger students as well. So that, just to answer that question, I would, there was a slide at the end, Mehta, that had the website in case you didn't get a chance to jot that down. It's videosforchange.org, where you can see the other videos. There is a whole global showcase there of lots of amazing videos created by people, and they are updated fairly regularly. And as we grow, those things are going to grow more and more. So if you go to www.videosforchange.org, there is also a contact us field that you can contact us if you would like to get any specific information, or if you would like to sign up for the mailing list. You can also just send an email to that address, and we'll make sure that you are on the mailing list to find out when the global competition launches next year.
And Roya, just a couple of questions. Restrictions on topic and age?
Sure, that's a great question on restrictions on topics. So one of the things that, as I mentioned, is a really secret to Videos for Change is that students should pick a topic that they're passionate about. And really, we really ask them to focus on a social issue that they feel passionate about. So it could be anything from bullying to climate change to gender equality to violence, or all sorts of issues. If you go on the website, you'll see lots of different ones, but really it's about a social theme usually. And when we launch the global competition next year, we're hoping to have several themes to encourage people to enter in different categories. So we'll make sure that there's that universal participation across the world and that young people feel engaged.
There was a question around what if you're younger than 12, and we have done the Videos for Change program with younger kids. One of the concerns is, of course, around them being on social media and things like that. So what I think, if you distinguish the Videos for Change experience as a learning tool from the competition and things like that, well, really you could use it for the learning part very easily with younger groups. And we have schools that and camps and other types of things that try to do that. And I think the competition then tries to band students by age group just to have some fairness in it. But as Roy was saying before, really some of the best videos are made with the simplest technology. It's not about access to fancy equipment. There was a question about expansion plans to other countries, and really the way we have been trying to expand Videos for Change is by finding the right partners in different countries. And where we have found the right partner, we have had conversations. And in India, we have had a great set of conversations with Manoj Kumar and the Nandi Foundation, as well as other groups. We've had some early conversations with Teach for India as well. But we'll see where we get to with those in terms of a national Indian competition. We are able to provide the platform to any school that wants it from early in 2021. So from about February or March, if you have groups of schools or organizations that want to have a website and run their own Videos for Change, that will be available. We'll be able to do that, and you can just get in touch with us through the web, and we'll be able to make that happen. Roy, do you want to just talk a little bit? They've asked for how schools implement it, any examples or suggestions on how schools should think about it?
Absolutely. Great questions. Thank you, everyone. I think just there was another question I saw about how do we have these videos in native languages. The videos can be accessed from the platform, but they're also on YouTube, or they're sort of able to be viewed on YouTube. And so if you turn on the translation, sometimes that shows up. It doesn't always work, but that can sometimes happen. And for the ones, there are certain ones that we've put subtitles, as you can see, in English, but we're hoping to have translatable options in the future, just to answer that question, because it is, and in fact, some of the videos that students have created have been translated into multiple languages because they just have been used by curriculum as curriculum in different parts of the world. So when the people who created those videos see that, it just gives them this incredible sense of impact to know that their video that they made as part of a project at school is being seen by kids and teachers and people all across the world. So how do schools implement this? That's a great question. So as I said, you can go to our website and you can download all the resources. There are teacher PowerPoint presentations if you're a teacher and you want to implement this into your school or educational setting. You can download the PDF documents and it gives you sheets that you can work on if you want to do that. And an example is that you can just do that independently with the free resources. So as Mehtad said, that's sort of like a general way to be able to do it by yourself. And then when we launch the competition, or if you want to launch your own competition, then that's something that you can do to create a focus. And we found that if there is a competitive element, then it does help to motivate students, knowing that their videos are going to be shared and knowing that there may be a sense of recognition for the best videos. I know we don't have much time left. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Just a couple of minutes left. I think maybe just to add in terms of the website, just to make sure everyone's clear. So obviously the global website that Roya is talking about is available for everybody for free. So if you go to videosforchange.org, you'll see the resources for both teachers and students. They're available for free. All the example videos are there and everything else. If organizations or schools wanted us to set up a website dedicated for them, which also has all that equipment, but allows them to run their own competition, have judging, voting, all that streamlined, that's a separate website. And we have basically created the ability to clone our website so other people can do this and that we can expand the program. So I think maybe with that, we might close out here just to say that we're delighted that you're all having this important conference and talking about it. It's terrific to share ideas from around the world. We do hope that our experience is helpful to you. I think that Roy and I both see the world as being at a very critical point, and that there are choices humanity is going to make around which direction it wants to go. And despite the fact that they don't vote, young people have a very important say in this, both in terms of their own lives and what happens to them, as well as the society around them. And this way of giving agency to young people is a really important part of the transformation work that we need to all do. Thank you so much for the time. We really do appreciate it. And Mansi, I appreciate the chance to be able to work with you on this.